The Chiefs went 14-3 last year. They won the Super Bowl. Some notable losses include Chad Henne, Juju Smith-Schuster, Orlando Brown Jr., Andrew Wiley, Frank Clark, and Juan Thornhill. Some notable additions include Blaine Gabbert, Rashee Rice, Donovan Smith, Jawan Taylor, Wanye Morris, Felix Anaduke Uzama, excuse me if I mispronounced the name, Drew Tranquil, and Mike Edwards. Strength of schedule last year was tied for the fifth hardest, and this year it's 16th. Some notes, Matt Nagy is going to be the new offensive coordinator, and there also is the possible Chris Jones holdout. We don't know anything that's going on with the Chris Jones holdout, so we'll see. What do we think about the Chiefs?
Hey, Chris Jones. That's the biggest thing is he's the Patrick Mahomes of the defense. You have to pay Chris Jones if you want another Super Bowl run. Especially with Frank Clark leaving, you need that big body in the middle who is able to stop the run game and get pressure on the quarterback. I did like the Drew Tranquil signing over from the Chargers. He's pretty good, and I liked watching him with Chargers, and I'm glad that we don't have to play him now. And even losing some wide receivers like Juju, like we didn't have a great wide receiver last year, but we still won the Super Bowl because we have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I also expect Isaiah Pacheco to have a really good year. He showed tons of potential last year, and I feel like if he can get going, he could be one of the better running backs in the league. And if Tony stays healthy, I think this team can make another playoff run. I truly believe it's still their division, and until one of the teams in that division can prove that they can beat the Chiefs consistently, it's the Chiefs division.
Well, not only is it their division, it's their conference to lose, really. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's what you can list: Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Hurts. I mean, those are the guys. And if you got that guy on a team, I mean, your season's already off to a good start. And plus, coming off of a Super Bowl win, and I mean, I don't like to fluff up the Chiefs any more than I have to, but they're a complete team, and I mean, nobody's proved yet that they can stop the Mahomes Kelsey connection. And as long as those two want to keep playing, I mean, it's their conference to lose until somebody decides to step up and take it from them.
Yeah, it is. I do want to ask you, Liam, do you think the Chiefs can win the Super Bowl, and do you think they will win the Super Bowl?
I feel like they can because you have 15 at quarterback. Will they? That is, I'm not sure because the receiving core last year, like I said, wasn't great, but this year there's your wide receiver one is probably Kadarius Toney, who is going to be hurt in most of the games this year. So then you have to rely on Sky Moore, who's going to be a second year receiver, and then Rashee Rice, who's not played a snap with the team yet. So I think they can. It's just the receiving core worries me a little bit. I do feel more comfortable because the defense has definitely been improved in this offseason.
That's all I needed to hear. I will say if you don't pay Chris Jones, that's I don't think this team can even go to a Super Bowl without him. And that's not downplaying Mahomes. That's not downgrading Kelce, Creed Humphrey, and the rest of that offensive line. It's not downgrading anyone in that offense. It's downgrading the rest of the defense because I've said it since they won the Super Bowl the first time. All you need to do is stack up the defense. You don't need to. You just need to keep your core together. Or when it was Kelce, Tyreek, and Mahomes and Damian Williams, they really didn't do that on offense. They got protection after they lost to the Bucks, but they haven't done anything on that defense since they won the Super Bowl the first time. I mean, they they added and lost Tyrann Mathieu. You replace him with Justin Reed. Justin Reed's been okay. He wasn't. I don't think he's been the same guy he was with Houston. Um, just pay Chris Jones. If you pay Chris Jones, it makes me think completely different. Because if you don't pay him, and there goes the whole. You can run up the middle all you want on them. You can pass on them, because he is the entire defense at this point. He is basically that center of the defense that you pull away, that keystone. You pull him away, that whole defense falls apart, and anyone can pass on them. You're going to look like the 2010s New Orleans Saints with Drew Brees throwing for 5,000 yards, but the whole defense is allowing 6,000 yards. Um, it's exaggeration, but man, just pay him. I mean, I trust Mahomes. I don't even care who's at receiver. We look at you guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. They make receivers out of a bunch of nobodies. Um, I trust that Sky Moore or She Rice. I trust that one of them is going to get the job done. Um, and even last year, it proved to me Juju Smith-Schuster can't be a number one wide receiver. It proved to me he can only be a wide receiver too. I've been saying that his entire career, that he's only a good wide receiver two and not a wide receiver one. So, and having the best quarterback in the NFL throwing to you just proved that to me. Um, I mean, they did this before, losing when they lost Eric Fisher and who else was it? They lost two off and Mitchell Schwartz. When they won the Super Bowl, or I don't remember if it was when they won the Super Bowl or lost the Super Bowl, but they got rid of those two, replaced those two with Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley. Same boat as they were last time. Losing Orlando Brown and Andrew Wiley, you add Donovan Smith and Jawan Taylor and Wanye Morris. It's just a recycling at this point. Um, I think this team can win the Super Bowl again, but I think I don't know. Something tells me that this if this Chris Jones situation is extended for a longer period of time, that this could be a larger issue for them down the road.